Okay, these are my thoughts. You must have all seen the press conference with Tyson Fury and Steve Cunningham. Tyson making his American debut on April the 20th on NBC Live, NBC Sports Live in America. Um, Press conference eventually, which was streamed live by Main Events. Shout out to Main Events. A bit frustrating, really, because for me, the best part about a press conference is the ability to be able to see the two guys squaring up against one another. You've got Steve Cunningham, who's about 6'2", maybe 6'3", and Tyson Fury, who's 6'9". So that would be nice to see. Unfortunately, as we're about to get into that, Main Events cut the screen, and the excuse was the cameraman got in the way. Poor show for Main Events. Would have thought that most people tune in to see the square off, the face off between one another. So I guess we'll probably get in newspapers or somewhere in or online at some point. We'll get pictures. Anyway, back to the press conference. Okay, the usual stuff was said. Cunningham, very nice, humble guy, talking about him. He's getting his opportunity. He's done it the hard way. And then brother Nazim Richardson, one of the best trainers in the world without a shadow of doubt, a master tactician, and talking about the fight and his analysis of Tyson Fury. And then Tyson had his opportunity to talk. It seemed to me Tyson was more, he seemed more in this one, he was pushing to sell the fight more, and he didn't seem as natural. Now I don't know if it was nerves, and I don't know if it was frustration, but Tyson to me seemed that his intention was to get under the skin of Steve Cunningham, and I think he did that, because Cunningham was very quick to want to respond to Tyson Fury, and the mind games have begun as well. Don't for one second think that this was a one-sided press conference of Tyson standing up and trying to assert some sort of authority and intimidation here, because Tyson's got size and he wants everyone in the room to know that he's the man, and that's fine. That's fair play. He's unbeaten. He's ambitious, and he wants to fight the best. And he's letting everyone in America know, I'm here. Physically, I'm here. I'm here to do the business. I'm not going to sit down. I'm going to stand up and say what I've got to say. And as Tyson says, he says what he has to say. He always says what's on his mind, which is good. He said a few things that riled Cunningham. And Cunningham responded. And Cunningham said if Tyson Fury was 6'2", then you wouldn't have the skill set that you had, and he wouldn't be the same fighter. He'd be garbage. I don't buy that. I think that's something that Cunningham has said to get under Tyson Fury's skin. And then we had Nazim Richardson jump in and say, very clever again, smart mind games being played here. Said, well, you know what? If he's only 6'2", why is the best heavyweight in the world fighting Steve Cunningham? Why do you want to fight a small cruiserweight? Now, you may look at that and think, that won't have any effect. But when you're training, you have to be mentally very strong. I'm not saying that Tyson is or he's not, but what I'm saying is you have to have thick skin, because when Tyson's training, what will go through his mind, or what could think is, it's only Steve Cunningham. He's a cruiserweight. I should blow him away. He's a cruiserweight. And this is where Peter Fury is going to have to rein Tyson in, because Tyson can think, he's a cruiserweight, I'm just going to go there and punch him and knock him over. Because Tyson made a very funny quote about Twitter being on the boots of Steve Cunningham, because Tyson believes he's the bigger man, believes he's the stronger man, and believes he can walk out there and knock Steve Cunningham out. And as a big man at 6'9", you would think, I wouldn't expect Tyson to be getting on the back foot using the jab and trying to box his way to a safe points win. You can see Tyson's going to go out there and be explosive. But the danger in all of this, and I think now that Steve Cunningham would have been riled. And I haven't seen any, of course, remember, I have not seen anything since the live stream cut. So I don't know what the square off was like. I don't know if anything happened there, any words were exchanged. I don't know. I'm just telling you from what I saw from the live stream. You can bet your bottom dollar that Nazim Richardson, in the way when Tyson stood up to say the things he said, Nazim Richardson took some offence to it, and he will be instilling into Cunningham and motivating Cunningham to win this fight like never before. Look, I see this fight now going one of two ways. Both ways, I still see Tyson Fury winning this fight. But I can tell you something now. This fight's going to either end very early in the first 3, or it could be 10 rounds or 12 rounds. And Tyson Fury possibly getting frustrated because if he doesn't knock Steve Cunningham out and Steve Cunningham doesn't fall over and he's a cruiserweight, inside of Tyson's mind he'll be thinking to himself, well, if I can't knock over a small guy like him, and criticism could be going through his mind at night. This is going to be a tough fight for Tyson Fury in terms of mentally. This fight is more mental than physical for me. Tyson's mental toughness will be tested like never before. Going to America, going to the Garden, a lot of Americans booing him. You know, it's a tough fight for Tyson. But then Steve Cunningham's been there before. He's got the experience. Even if it was a cruiserweight, he's got the experience. Tyson says, well, he's been dropped as a cruiserweight. Yes, he has. Very true, very true. But he's not been knocked out as a cruiserweight. And that's the key thing here. And we don't know how much being weight drain has anything to do with Cunningham constantly being dropped. But this is going to be an interesting fight. And if Cunningham snaps back the way he snapped back against Fury when Fury said what he said, if he were to snap back in a ring like that, God can only imagine what sort of a fight this is going to be. This could be one hell of a fight. It could be. But Tyson's making it quite clear that he's fighting a cruiserweight, and with that, you know, he could end up having egg on his face if he doesn't do the job. So it's a big platform. There's a lot of weight of expectation on Tyson Fury, and my suggestion to Tyson is just to focus on the job in hand. Forget all the talk about Cunningham being a cruiserweight. As for Steve Cunningham, the world's your oyster. If you beat Tyson Fury, you're right back in the mix, my friend. You're right back in the mix. So, again, I'm going with Tyson Fury for the fight, not just because I've interviewed him, but because I think in this particular fight, I think size, and I think Tyson's a big man, but a very skillful big man. And actually, I can see Tyson walking and looking to knock Cunningham out. I'd be very surprised if Tyson decides to get on the back foot and start jabbing. So he's going to bring the fight to Cunningham. And it's just a matter of what Cunningham can do with that. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. It's not long from now.